Imagine a perfect world where you can build a restaurant, open the doors, and make loads of money. Unfortunately, those days are over. It takes great leadership, hard work, and long hours to operate a successful restaurant. Together, we can make it happen. This is Restauranttopia.
And we're back. Thanks for tuning in to Restauranttopia. We appreciate it dearly, as always. Sitting here with Brian and Dave, of course. And Dave, you bring in something pretty fascinating to the table here. We're going to call it increasing efficiency with mobile communication platforms.
I am jazzed about this episode because I think it aligns with a previous episode of making your dining room younger. I'm going to try to help you out how to make your employee pool younger.
Oh, I love it.
And get some of those creative juices going. So I'm going to talk about, what are these mobile communication platforms, okay? What are the benefits, some tips to implement, and then I want to talk about some real-world examples. So what are mobile communication platforms? This sounds complicated, but it's literally on your mobile device.
Okay, I got one.
A platform that gives you the ability to communicate.
So my cellular device works.
Your cellular device.
Yes. Gotcha.
You've heard of these before, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is Slack. This is Microsoft Teams. This
Sure.
is 7 Shifts. This is When I
GroupMe.
Work. GroupMe. This is OneNote. Could be as simple as Google Sheets.
Mm-hmm.
This could be as simple as group text messages.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm going to explain why I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But this is just a place where the communication of your people, your employees, your management, whatever it is, and it could be in several different groups, but includes instant messaging, video conferencing, document sharing, project management, all those things in one place so that your team can efficiently get things done. What do you got there?
GroupMe.
GroupMe?
I gave up on manager logs, and I tried to force manager logs in an Excel spreadsheet, emailed out. No one bit into it, but you throw up a GroupMe and everybody's in.
So what's a GroupMe?
GroupMe is like an organized chat center. So it's different than doing a group chat. It's just an app you download, but you can organize it, and then you're not chasing down different. Like when you do a group text and you accidentally include someone or accidentally disclude someone, and then you're chasing through your threads. Like this is just a centralized version of that. So like kudos to them for making money on texting is what they've done.
Well, but let me...
but you can organize it company-wide.
Yeah, I like the organization, but since you're talking about this, I'm going to fast forward to the reason why I wouldn't do group text messages.
Yeah.
Because work-life balance.
Yep.
Okay. So like your text messages are always live and going.
Yeah.
So
That's
if
a
you don't
great
work
point.
on Tuesday and your manager's deciding to, deliver information about the job, you might not want to be interrupted on Tuesday because it's your day off.
Well, there's
You know
some
what I mean?
legal
So-
issues there too. Should that person be being paid to receive that text message?
Yeah,
Great
I didn't
point.
think about that.
Yeah,
but,
great point.
But
Just from a cultural standpoint.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Just as a human.
so the fact that it's in its own app, okay, and
They don't have to open
and
it.
listen, if you have no notifications and happen to look at it, that's on you. But it's in its own place, and you
But it's
can
not
open it
forced
up
through
and-
your text
right,
thread. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So okay, I'm glad we got that out of the way because that is one reason why I wouldn't do that. I would say that's the most like infant way of doing this, and if you're not doing anything else or refuse to do anything, I would say some text messages, but I would shy away from it for those reasons.
Well, and Brian, what's nice about this is you have each store has their own, and then you have a company-wide one too. So different levels of topic depending on their elevation get addressed in different channels.
So what are the benefits of these mobile communication platforms? So obviously communicating, okay? Like things going on in your restaurant operations. But I think, again, what I alluded to in the beginning of the episode was these ways to make things easier, like scheduling, onboarding and training, recipe planning, research, marketing and promotions.
SOPs?
Different
Could I
SOPs.
put them in a centralized
That's a
location?
shame.
You could
Shameless plug,
put
sir.
SOPs. You could put SOPs in your mobile communication platform.
You certainly can.
Your,
And if you
your
want
MCP, I'm going to call it.
And if you don't have
I just made that up.
SOPs and you wanted to create them, could you listen to our prior episode on SOPs?
You could listen to a prior episode of Restauranttopia, probably around 147 or 8, somewhere in there, maybe.
No, it'd be 150s.
Oh, 150s. Oh, okay.
Really? We're at 150?
No, we're at 147.
No, we're going to be is what I'm saying.
I've edited it up until 148.
Oh,
So
nice.
it was later than
It's
today.
so many episodes. You can listen to any of them.
But
all
it's
worthwhile.
all on relevant topics that affect you as a restaurateur. Now, if you're like one of my buddies that complain about the copious amounts of social media posts on restaurants, I apologize to all my friends. Like, dude, I'm in logistics. Like, I have constantly spamming me. I'm like, I know you should open up a restaurant. You should like and share. If you're my friend.
People that complain about social media drives me nuts.
Oh, yeah? How so?
I sorry to get in a tangent, but you like make your social media what you want of it. Like, you know how many people I just unfollow?
Yeah, it's easy.
I don't care.
Right.
Like, I have no emotions around it.
I would have to have friends though to unfollow. So like it's
But
pretty finite group.
even people that just get, like maybe something 5 years ago I thought was interesting, and now it's just like I don't have time. Like if I'm spending time on this, I don't have time to mess around. Like I want stuff coming at me that's improving,
and it's built for that.
I will give you
exactly.
Yeah,
but to sit there and complain, it's like for me to not like you two guys,
Yeah.
and sit here for hours talking to you and leave and go, God, I can't stand those guys.
Yeah, just
Stupid.
unfollow
Like,
us.
why was I there?
Right, right.
But I think kind of in line with your topic here today.
Oh, we're gonna get back to my topic.
Yeah, one of these days.
But you need to curate that, just like you don't, if you don't want to watch the History Channel, quit having it on TV.
Right.
You need to curate your social media just like you would anything else.
I saw the other day some old man complaining that social media was just full of nudity and bikini pics and all this jazz. And someone chimed in and says, excuse me, sir, that's because that's the stuff you watch and look at, right? Like he's curated it inadvertently.
Yeah, it's the whole. We started a new TikTok game. When you open up TikTok, the first couple videos that come up, like you know what I mean, like
yeah, it's like a Rorschach test. I don't know what kind of like psychological test, but it's like, and like everyone hesitates. You're like, huh, what could it be? And you're like, what's it gonna be? You're like restaurant, sports. I was like, oh, thank God.
So like, to get back on topic here, the number one benefit of this, again, not to overstate this, but this is going to create a level of communication and tech in your business that's going to be attractive to that younger workforce. They're not going to want to write the pen and paper manager log sitting in the office. Temperature was it today? And what time did dinner slow down? You know what I mean? Like that. We want to be able to move fast and have this in our pocket.
You want to communicate with your audience, and in this case, it's your team, the way that they communicate. To stop using a telegraph if they don't have a telegraph machine or know how to read Morse code. Like, stop doing the old way because you think it's the best way. The only best way is the way they communicate.
Yep.
That's exactly right. You got to be a steward of your team. This is like having a very passive meeting going 24/7. So all your heads are combined. There's always an idea share. There's always someone to bounce something off of, and you got the whole group.
And there's repetitive stuff in there, but also when there's things going on, I mean, so I look at and so we say scheduling, I mean, so if you're using something like When I Work or 7 Shifts to be able to allow these employees to adjust their schedule for their life, because I think that's going to be important.
Flexibility is already
have the
important.
Flexibility.
Yeah.
I think
and go through and like, okay, hey, I'd like to give up this shift. Hey, I'd like to have that shift. And you go, whoop, whoop, approve as the manager, and you're working out to make sure that your busy times are handled, your slow times are profitable, and you've got those things going on. So scheduling, I think, is huge. Onboarding and training.
Yeah.
I think that, having resources in there, having your SOPs, having videos. Guys, listen, get your best servers and video them in a mock, like approaching a table. And here's how you open a bottle of wine. And here and document that stuff so that, what? Did I blow your mind?
It just blew my mind. So you could take my episode on SOPs and digitize it in a user-friendly form that they could digest. So what?
And I'm not suggesting that becomes the training.
No, but
what an amazing resource to say, hey, Anthony, I noticed you were struggling with the wine earlier tonight. Like, go on the app and check out that video 107 on how to present a wine bottle.
But not at home tonight. Go take 5 minutes break, watch these 3 videos.
Yeah.
And it will educate you on our process, how we do things here in our restaurant to make you a better player on the team.
Well, and I'm going to find out if Anthony's a winner because I'm going to present that. I'm going to say, hey, tomorrow I'm going to set some time aside to show you these videos. And then when he gets to the shift, I'm going to find out, is he a winner? Did he go home at night? And did he actually, do some research to become a better employee the next day? Or is he just waiting for me to schedule the time for him?
No, the self-saboteur in my brain is not so much interested in winning. So I would be petrified not to do it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm afraid to lose. Yeah. So there you go. There's a difference. But yeah, I would do it.
I hate losing more than I like winning.
Yeah, exactly.
And are you conveying this to your employee in a way that it makes it advantageous for them to do the knowledge, to learn the knowledge? Hey, if you have a table, a 4-top, remember when I didn't know what a 4-top was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was cute.
When you were buying
table.
Episode 2.
Yeah.
You were buying tuna by the foot.
Yeah. No, that's how else?
He's still doing that.
Yeah.
It's getting ripped off.
Yes. Right. I tell you what, it's the future. You guys are all buying by the pound. I mean, this is so much more economical. You got a 4-top that gets 2 good bottles of wine. Your tip just went up astronomically.
Yeah.
So think of it in a way that you can convey the message to want the employee to learn, to make it a win-win.
Yeah, and there's some products out there to get you started. If you remember Roger Bodwin we had on the show, had that app called Serve, and I'm really interested to see where that went.
Yeah, and I think his was more focused on the training, right, and those things. But it's all good. So
it's going to end up being a tech stack.
But the nice
Bingo.
thing.
Bingo. This is
this
all
is
about
part of this is part of
your tech stack.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, your tech stack is going to be indicative of your who you employ in the future.
Yeah.
It is. So, but think about this. Again, you want this stuff segmented, okay? You want your kitchen or your chefs to be on a certain thing, your front of the house, maybe some that are both, but recipe planning, okay? So what about just R&D and ideas and pantry on his week off goes to a city where he sees some restaurants and he's able to take some pictures, document, put some stuff, put it in one place that everybody can access it later. You know what I mean?
I want to pause you right there because that is such a good practice. In fact, the chef Rene from Noma in Denmark, he was launching a program where he required his cooks to take 3 months off per year paid. To go experiment, explore, and bring back different stuff. So that being said, more realistically, in the Ohio work environment, where you're not a 3 Michelin star restaurant,
3 days,
3 days, sponsor a trip to Chicago. It's a 6-hour drive. Sponsor a trip to New York. Sponsor those meals. For $1,000, the not only the good, I guess, rest and relaxation and rebooting of that employee, which is valuable in and of itself. They bring back ideas from industry leaders and inspiration. It's great practice.
Also, and I've done this a number of times. You can also fly to Chicago on the morning flight, go have an amazing lunch, go have an amazing dinner, and take the red eye home with your team. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of a day. It's a lot of travel, but that's fun, and you get to experience.
The team building.
And have fun, and then you
Wait, have fun at work?
Yeah, no,
you can't do that.
It's got to be fun. It's just, I'll tell you what, the days of, we're making hubcaps and we're just going to clock in, clock out, and we're just meat robots that are just working an assembly line are over. You got to care about your people. You got to put together a communication system that is so seamless that they enjoy doing it and they feel comfortable doing it.
And there's nothing more inspiring than a mobile communication platform.
That is the most inspiring thing I could ever think of.
So where do you put all your marketing and promotion ideas?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you put all your resources? Like I said, videos, training, SOPs, all those resources. And then communications with your mentors and mentees, because you might have a mentorship program.
Right. Or just let me know the stove's broken, so when I come in the morning, I'm not surprised the repairman's knocking on the door.
Thank you.
No, it's
as Brian would say, the block and tackle is very important too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what are some real world examples? So in my life, we went to an organization called PALS. Now it's called the McClaskey Institute of Excellence, and there's the Excellence Advisory. They kind of
PALS is still there.
No, the PALS are restaurants,
but
they're still not doing the training. So when we came back from that, we were using a product called OneNote, which is a Microsoft product, and we created a whole onboarding and training, I think 12 weeks of a new employee coming into sales.
Mm-hmm. I use that.
And we use that. So that was in something as simple as OneNote. You know, and it's just a shareable cloud-based software that you could put notes in, and everybody had the edits, and who edited it and everything. It housed all our videos. It housed all of the week by week. What do you do? Who do you go see? Where the experts are? And it was very tabs, almost like a folder format, binders and tabs. And if you're not familiar with OneNote, check it out. But we did that. So really, you could refer back to this anytime you wanted, whenever you wanted, and have the information. I know there's a local regional chain that uses some scheduling software. They actually use 7 shifts. They talk about it a lot, that especially when they have multiple locations, that they're able to actually have employees be able to move around within their locations.
That's awesome.
Easily.
Mm-hmm. But if they don't have SOPs and those employees aren't ready to go to those other locations, it's going to be different vibes at each place, right, Brian?
Yeah, we do it differently in Beechwood than we do in Lakewood.
Exactly.
But they can easily post, trade shifts, get it approved.
No, and that bodes well for the flexibility you're talking about. Also, the collaborative work environment is very big, and it's kind of the right thing to do. So it's a really nice idea share place. But 7 shifts, from what I've gathered, we've scratched the surface on it, is a nice. It's vertically integrated to the right degree.
Yeah, from what I understand, especially if you have multiple locations.
Yep, and you can do manager logs in there, and you can do a la carte, so you can pay for extra services. So they've done a nice job of integrating. But I'm still haven't seen that piece of tech out there that's a comprehensive restaurant software. Yeah, because it includes the data, file storage.
But you got to get that out of your head.
Okay,
I think our friends over at Cali Barbecue and America's Best Restaurant, Matt Plapp and Sean, it's a tech stack. Yeah, they've done some episodes on a tech stack, and your accounting system may not be connected to your 7 shifts, may not be connected to your MailChimp, may not be connected to whatever you're using for third-party delivery, or they are connected, but there's still going to be different platforms. There's still going to be different things that you are using in conjunction with each other. And whether they communicate is a whole nother level, and hopefully that they do, because that will make things easier. But that's the tech stack that you really need to be looking at. And maybe we should do an episode on that here
I think we totally should.
Later in the year. But this is all about staff and communication, because I think that's the foundation of your operation. And to be able to communicate with them clearly and effectively is really key.
No, fast, accurate, reliable, effective. Yeah.
And in a way they appreciate doing so.
Yeah, sure.
Correct. Yes. Again, it goes back to the telegraph.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys have any real world examples of something like this, but that's really what I had. So,
well, I was just telling you, we use GroupMe, and we just started. It's working out well. And sometimes we got to poke and prod, and sometimes you got to dive in there and be like, hey, how was your weekend? I'd like to hear about it. Any service failures, any customer failures, any employee failures. What can we work on as a group right now? And I think it fosters an amazingly healthy environment for all of us to discuss.
Is it archived so you could go back to it and
I don't know yet. I don't think it goes anywhere. I think you could scroll back through it. Now, how you organize and everything else will be a question. Again, we just kick the tires. I'm old, but the kids have been using GroupMe for years. I know some restaurant groups I've worked with have used GroupMe successfully for a while. That was kind of what spurred the idea. Okay. I finally just asked everybody, like, how do you think this should be done? This is what I want. Tell me how to get there.
We're going to do a survey with a bunch of Hillcrest customers and ask them what their tech stack is. And then when we do the tech stack episode, we'll kind of go through and say, all right, this is what some people are using. This is what they like. Because again, it's like anything. If you're not using it effectively, or you didn't implement it or onboard it correctly, it's just code.
Not only that,
just useless code,
right? But it's got to be easy to use too, and I think that's the problem when you're not stacked up. Is that I can see this happening. We have a propensity to say, "Ooh, that's a nice shiny toy. We really need that."
Yes.
And then you got shit all over the place, and then you forget your logins. You forget to access this. Like, you need it organized, you need it accessible, and you need it stacked up. So they say, right?
And I would say, if you're implementing anything, especially a tech stack, one thing at a time.
Yes, that's changes in general.
Don't roll in
changes in general.
Yeah, don't roll in August and be like, here's the 7 different platforms we're going to use for these 15 different things in our operation, and you're going to love it. It's like, shit, I don't even know how to log into the one.
No one likes drinking from a fire hose, man.
And also, then you have to be an expert in it too, because it's not going to be seamless.
Yeah, and get rid of your opinions sometimes. Oh yeah. Like if you're the manager or owner that's saying like, man, we really need this and everybody should be using it, and you're months into it, like trying to suck the life out of people to get them to get on. Maybe you don't need it.
Square
people
peg,
aren't using it.
Square peg round hole. Right?
So be careful about that too.
Well, that's
that you're
where
just
I was
trying
at.
to push what you think.
I couldn't get what I wanted, and it was like, okay, do I get angry about this, or I just be a servant leader and be like, hey, look, like, what do you guys want?
Right.
Here's my outcome. Show me the
like,
process.
Hey, why don't we do this?
And guess what? Now it's theirs. It's their idea. They got by. I don't care whose idea it was. I just want the outcome.
Absolutely.
I just want the communication. I just want to know what's going on. You guys tell me how to do it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you guys are here with us, for me with this. Really, your support means the world.
Does it really? It does. It looks like you're tearing up a little bit.
We carried some water for you here. I think you had an amazing episode. We just made it that little bit better.
Just the cherry on top.
Yes. I'm surprised your arms are that long to pat yourself in the back that extensively.
Oh, when you're flexible like me and you've done it for this long, I mean, you know how to get to that back shoulder.
Of flexibility.
Yeah.
The 2 F's of backpacking. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Hope you appreciate it. Check out the show notes on Restauranttopia.com, and we'll see you next time.
Right. I love it, man. Yeah. Adopt the future, man. Don't be resistant.
I need like a really good plug to put in at the end, like Socrates or like this. I don't got anything.
It's okay. It'll come to you.
It'll come to me.
It'll come to you.
Check the show notes out on Restauranttopia.com. You'll see a very thoughtful and articulate quote by someone else.
Okay, so
that eventually will become our quote.
Yeah,
yes, we will assimilate that into our lexicon, as Brian says.
As we always like to say, what gets measured, gets managed.
And stolen.
As we always like to say.
As we've always said.
As we've always said.
Quality pod. Thank you, everybody.
Take care.
Adios.
Thank you for listening to Restauranttopia. The gratitude that we have for each and every one of you spending your precious time to listen to this podcast is immeasurable. Please make sure to tell a friend about this podcast. And also, if you have any feedback for us, visit us on Restauranttopia.com and drop us a line. You can also subscribe on your favorite place to listen to podcasts. Thank you and have a great day.